In this video, we're going to be comparing the two gear shift pattern options you have on the track, road shift and race shift. As I'm sure you'll know, the gear lever on the vast majority of road bikes clicks down 1 for first gear and up 5 for second to 6th gear. Because this pattern is standard on road bikes, this is known as the road shift pattern. What a lot of track riders and racers tend to do though is reverse the shift pattern by changing how the gear lever connects to the end of the shift spindle. This is often done simply by flipping the sleeve which sits on the end of the shift spindle round 180 degrees. So the same motion now turns the shift spindle in the opposite direction, effectively reversing the pattern. This means that clicking up 1 gear from neutral now puts the bike into first gear, and from there you click down 5 to go through gears 2 to 6. And because this is often done by racers, this is known as the race shift pattern. Now some bikes may need specialist rear sets to achieve this reversing, while others may need a simple garage mod to allow room for the sleeve to be flipped. The biggest benefit of running race shift on your bike comes in the corners. More specifically on corner exits where you're hanging off the bike and you need to select a higher gear while the bike is still leaned over. On right hand bends on a bike that's using road shift, the rider would need to manipulate their foot under the lever to click up another gear. This can be difficult to do when you're hanging right off to the inside of the bike. Instead, using a race shift pattern, the rider would just need to find the gear lever with the underside of the boot and click it down. And I'm sure you would agree that this is much easier. It can also make a difference in left-hand corners too. It would be easier to find the top of the lever when you're leaned over to the left rather than trying to hook your foot under as the bike's leaned over. Aside from the early teething issues that come from the first adoption of race shift pattern, the only real downside is that it will make downshifts a little more difficult. Stamping down on the lever during downshifts, particularly when you're going down a few, takes a lot less finesse than flicking it up, which you have to do with race shift. And many riders have said they mess up more downshifts since switching, particularly early on in the adoption process. In truth though, all of those things should really go away once you learn and really embed the technique. So is race shift better? The benefits on corner exits make a lot of sense, so you might decide to switch for that benefit alone and sacrifice the ease of downshifting you get when using normal road shift. But are you going to see any performance gains? Well, probably not. In my opinion, it's just a preference thing and nothing more, and it's simply up to you to decide whether it's worth the time and effort to switch. To try and gauge whether or not different techniques like this have any advantage over the other, you have to look at riders in top level championships. Max Biaggi was one rider that chose not to adopt the reversed race shift pattern, and with 6 world titles to his name, I think it's fair to say that his choice of shift pattern didn't hold him back. Kevin Schwantz was another rider that never adopted the race shift pattern, declaring that there was only 1 corner on the whole calendar that he felt would benefit from reversing it. Personally, I chose to stick with road shift pattern for my track bike. Across the tracks I've ridden, I would say there's maybe 1 corner where I would see any appreciable benefit. Also in heavy braking zones in particular, where a number of gear changes are needed, I find it easier to quickly stamp down on the lever. But again, it comes down to personal preference. By all means, have a go at race shift if you want to give it a try. You may find that it works out easier for you personally, like a lot of other riders do. After all, there's got to be a very good reason why the vast majority of riders opt for race shift over road shift pattern. So if you're intrigued, then try it for yourself and see if you agree. So what's your preferred shift pattern? Tell us about your experiences in the comments down below. And as always, if you like the video, then be sure to hit the button and consider sharing it with others, and be sure to subscribe to the channel for more performance riding content moving forward. Outside of that, I'll see you in the next one.